Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back, QualityShot Tennis. Today we've got the Madrid semifinal between Taylor Fritz and Andrey Rublev. We got Taylor versus Andrey. Very excited for this one. It's a rematch of last year's Monte Carlo semifinal as well. Fritz has reached 4 Masters semifinals. 3 of them have been played against Rublev. It should be an interesting match. Big opportunities, I feel like. Rublev has been on a bit of a losing streak. This is a great opportunity for him to, he's already had a great event, but especially if he can rebound and, for example, win the whole thing, which I'm sure is what he has his eyes on, or make a final, that would be even better. This is a great rebound event for Andrey. I feel like making a final here would completely solidify, to be honest, that, listen, I'm back, I'm at the top, I'm here to stay. Already a great run anyway. And also beating Alcaraz in the last round, playing phenomenal tennis. So Rublev's back anyway, but it's a big contest, and Fritz, great opportunity to make a final of a Clay Masters. It's a second Clay Masters semifinal. These guys have played 7 times, 8 times if you include Laver Cup. The head-to-head is 4-3 for Fritz. It is 5-3 if you include Laver Cup, which is a really fantastic record for Taylor to be winning against Rublev. These guys have been playing for a long time. Also, they're good friends, long-time competitors, same generation, same age. They played at the Next Gen finals. They also played an ITF Juniors final all the way back in 2015. And the full set of them playing is on YouTube. So these guys have been playing each other for a long time. It's going to be a lot of fun. Fritz is playing great. So we're going to have a great match. I'm excited for this. Let me change up. I'm so small. I'm not usually this small. I'm not usually this small. 1 second. All right, that's better, but that's also not quite right. Here we go. Cool. All right. Hey, what's up, Zara? Anthony, what's up? Zara. Hello. Prediction? Prediction. It's a good question, actually. I haven't put that much thought into the prediction. What is my prediction? Rublev looks up for it. Yeah, it's looking good for Rublev. What's your prediction? My prediction. Okay, let me have a think. I didn't think about it. I did some pre-match stuff where I was looking over what would be the best goals for both players, but for whatever reason, a prediction didn't really cross my mind. So, very, very close. I actually think Fritz has got a shot here. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna go Rublev in 3 sets, just like Monte Carlo. But I think I don't think Rublev's gonna run away with any of the sets, or at least he's not gonna run away with the second and third set like he did in Monte Carlo, where Fritz won the first set 7-5, and then Rublev won the second and third set. I don't think it's going to be that. I think it's going to be a close 3-set match. Rublev wins. I think we're gearing up for a good one. I think people shouldn't underestimate Fritz here, honestly, in my opinion, especially with the winning head-to-head. So I got Fritz in 3. Rublev starting us off. Serving. Let's see, Rublev's got Andrey with the racket in his hand. He's serving. Rublev, the 7th seed, Fritz, the 12th seed. This tournament is wide open. We don't have Medvedev. We don't have Sinner. We don't have Alcaraz. We don't have Djokovic. We don't have Zverev. That's okay. I'll be honest. It's not my favorite Masters event we've ever had, but hey, it is what it is. And these guys have put on great performances to beat their competition. FA put on a stunner of a performance to beat Casper. Laj got to beat who was in front of him. So did Fritz, and so did Rublev, who took out Alcaraz. So backhand down the line, forehand of Fritz, the backhand of Rublev, forehand of Fritz. That's a big forehand. That's what he's going to have to do. These faster courts, they award big serving and +1. +1. Stepping up on the baseline, moving forward, big aggression. And that's going to be big for Fritz as well, for Rublev as well. But Rublev's going to do that anyway. 30-all here, Rublev with the serve. It's a good serve out wide. So 40-30. 40-30. It's up, Joe. Fritz to win the first set 6-2. Wow, big call. I want Rublev to win, but I think Fritz will win. I kind of think maybe yes, Joe. I'm very 50-50. I think Fritz has more of a chance than a lot of people would give him, to be honest. I'm not sure. I'm not even gonna do a confident prediction. I kind of want to switch and say Fritz. I'm high on Fritz going in. I'll be honest. Woohoo for Rublev. See how Andrey can do. Nicolas. Hey, what's up, Nicolas? How are you doing? 40-30 here, Andrey. Sorry, deuce. As he misses another serve into the net. It's already a close game to start us off here. Forehand Fritz. Forehand of Andrey. Forehand of Fritz. Down the line, backhand of Andrey. Backhand Fritz. Forehand Andrey. Backhand Fritz. Backhand, backhand. Backhand Fritz, cross court. The backhand to backhand rallies is going to be a big thing to watch for Fritz. I'm gonna say with my prediction, I'm gonna say Rublev in 3 sets, but I feel very 50-50 on it. Har says Andrey, and mine says, I don't know. I feel that. Fritz likes the high altitude conditions as well. We see that in Indian Wells. Backhand, the forehand of Rublev goes well out. So back to deuce. They're saying on Sky Sports the other day conditions favor Fritz rather than a night session. That's interesting. I'd want to know more as to why they say that, because to be honest, I wouldn't have thought that they would think that. Also, I'm not an absolute expert on how day sessions versus night sessions, change these weird high altitude fast clay court conditions, to be honest. So I'd be curious as to what they're saying, because I don't know. I haven't really looked into it that much. I've looked into how the Madrid conditions play and how, it being colder, being nighttime can affect general clay conditions. I know a little bit about that, but I don't know a lot about these specific conditions here. That forehand goes wide from Rublev, so already an iffy start. Back to deuce. Might be a little bit of a mental thing for Rublev. I'm not sure. Like I said, they have been playing since they were juniors. Fritz has won a lot of their matches. They played twice last year, if you include Laver Cup. Fritz won in Laver Cup, their last meeting, but Rublev won in Monte Carlo in 3 sets. I want to talk about some of the stats in that match. And Rublev fumbling the ball by accident before he goes to serve was quite funny. Spent like 10 seconds attempting to get ready to serve there. Just dropped the ball he was about to serve with. But yeah, there are a few things I think about when I think why the matchup has gone the way it has. A lot of their matches have been on hard court as well, which Fritz might like a bit. Also on outdoor hard court, a couple have been at Indian Wells, which doesn't hurt. Forehand, down the line, backhand slice of Fritz. That goes out. A couple of backhands subpar so far from Taylor. It's not going to be good enough. Maybe Fritz will win. Yeah, that's maybe. I'm still going to go Rublev, but I think Fritz is going to keep it close. Sky said the courts react faster in the day and slow slightly in the night. Okay, interesting. So I guess that makes sense. That would make sense, Joe. Probably more humidity in the evenings. Okay. Yeah, probably. So, all right. Well, that could be interesting then. So Fritz, maybe something to favor Taylor. I think a lot of things favor Taylor. Before Monte Carlo last year as well, the 3 matches before that were 3 consecutive matches at Hardcourt Masters 1000 events. And Fritz won all of them. He won 2 of them in straight sets. So Fritz likes to play Rublev. They were all in 2022, 2021 when Rublev was already an established top 10 player. By the way, Andrey showing some frustration already, which is not a good sign, because guess what? He did not show, it felt like, a single bit of any kind of frustration or emotion at all throughout the Alcaraz match, and that did him very good. Kind of doesn't smash his racket, but bounces his racket on the ground and kind of jumps up in his face just out of frustration as he hits another double fault there. Backhand. It's a break point for Fritz as he breaks early. All right. 1-0 for Taylor Fritz. I do have to point out, there are a few things I want to mention as I was looking into this match. The last match that they played in Monte Carlo, so many breaks. So many breaks. By the way, this is crazy. Points won percentage, they're just showing for Taylor Fritz on serve. His serve has been unbelievable, Taylor. His serve has been a 9.47 on the Infosys stats or whatever. And they're just showing Fritz's insane serve stats. They're also showing a crazy stat for Rublev. His average rally hit point is literally just behind the baseline. Like, usually on clay, you're standing so much further back. Rublev has been standing basically on the baseline, which is crazy. He's been dictating. He's been hitting great winners, great pace generation off of both sides. I also think he's been moving quite well when he's needed to. But against Alcaraz, it was just, I mean, he is a great athlete. And the way that he can get into position to just constantly just stay on the baseline and keep going for winners is crazy. But, okay, so the match that they played Monte Carlo last year, which, again, is a Monte Carlo semifinal, very similar situation. Different surface, definitely slower, but a somewhat similar situation. And this was the crazy stat there. Fritz faced 21 break points in that match. 21. He saved 13. He got broken 8 times. That's a drop shot in the net. Rublev with a great backhand angle as Fritz hits a backhand slice into the net. Love 30. If Fritz could get to 2-0 here, it would be a great start for Taylor. But it's not that great of a start if he can't. Michael Russell, by the way, Taylor Fritz's coach. Bit of a legend in my book, even while he was playing. Backhand of Fritz. Cross-court, the backhand of Rublev. Backhand of Fritz. The backhand of Rublev. Backhand Fritz. Going backhand. Backhand Fritz. That's a great shot. So we're at 5:30. 15:30. But Fritz saved 13 of 21 break points when they played last year Monte Carlo. Rublev saved 3 out of 8. So he also got broken 5 times. That's pretty astounding. 13 breaks in their semifinal last year. But Fritz's serve was just not good enough. He made 49% of his first serves in. He was winning just 35% of second serve points. Well, guess what? The way he's been serving so far in this tournament, I don't think that's going to be the case. And these courts, what's the word? They help out big servers a lot more and big hitters. Backhand. Oh, for a pass, what a shot. Forehand, half volley. Forehand, Rublev is there. What a rally. Oh, it's in the net. Rally in the match so far, bar none. Hey, what's up, Lexi? Rublev. Come on. Okay, let's go, Andrey. Tune in, and Anthony zoomed in to show his beautiful face. Hey, what's up, Face On? How's it going? Hello. That was a great rally there. Rublev with some really impressive speed at the end to get one more shot back in play. I'm not in favor of Taylor. Let's see if that helps Andrey at all. Okay. No, I think mostly we've got people cheering for Andrey, which is cool. It's fine. Backhand, that goes out. So 30-40. I agree. I'm not a fan of him. Just favor him slightly in this matchup. If it was a night session under the roof, I'd definitely say Rublev. Yeah, I mean, Joe, honestly, there's a lot of things going for Fritz, so it would be awesome to see him really make a big statement on clay. Backhand, cross-court. It's a break point here, though, for Andrey. Big point. Forehand down the line. The backhand Fritz. Backhand Rublev. The backhand of Fritz. That's in the net. Rublev breaks early. It's not a good sign for Taylor. Listen, I don't even know if he's had his serve broken once in this tournament so far. I honestly don't know, but his serve stats have been unreal. I don't think he has. He's barely been facing break points. I think that's the first break he's had in this tournament. No, it can't be. Francisco Cerundolo, second set in their last match. Yeah. Until then, he hadn't been broken in the whole tournament. But yeah, he got broken then. But this is just the second break that he's faced the whole event. What's up, Tom from Ipswich? Good to have you. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong as well. That goes out from Taylor, so 15 love. What's going on broken already? Yeah, already broken, which is pretty crazy. And Rublev just broke right back. In Monte Carlo, like I just said, that last year when they played, their only meeting so far on clay courts, they broke each other 13 times. Didn't really expect the exact same story here, but see what happens. Cerundolo broke him. Yeah, you're right, Joe. You're right. All right, we got 30 love. We got an exciting one. I'm excited to see how this pans out. It's very close, which always makes for the best tennis match possible. If you come into a match and you already know who's gonna win, like it's not that interesting. It's not that interesting. Serve the back into Fritz, back into Rublev, back into Fritz, back into Rublev again down the line, forehand slice of Fritz. That goes out. It's also a huge match for both. Their routes on the way here, by the way. Rublev has beaten Facundo Bagnis, Davidovich Fokina, who he saved multiple set points against, like he did in Dubai last year, where they came in the form of match points, where they were match points. Also, Talon Griekspoor and Carlos Alcaraz. So it's been a pretty tough route, to be honest. Backhand, that's in the net. Good return from Fritz off that backhand. Fritz's route, Darderi, Baez, Hurkacz, and Cerundolo. 3 great clay quarters and QB Hurkacz. So he's dropped only 1 set so far. And yeah, he's played a fantastic tournament. Serve Rublev down the tee, backhand, forehand to Rublev, forehand to Fritz, back into Rublev, back in Fritz, back into Rublev, back in Fritz. That goes out 2-1. Like I was saying, Fritz leads that set 4-3. In some ways 5-3 if you include Laver Cup last year. I just tend to not really like to include Laver Cup, but I'll just say he leads that set 4-3. A lot of those meetings have been on hard courts. And I think that why it might be a mental thing. I'm not sure. A little bit, but I also think Fritz is very solid. He's a very good player. He loves playing hard courts. He loves hard court masters. And I think that Fritz has a better serve than Rublev. Rublev has a very good serve, but I think Fritz has a better serve than Rublev. And they have similar games. I mean, a lot of what works best for both of them is pretty similar. They're both not the fastest guys around, but they both worked on their movement, their defense. Their aggressive parts of their game is the best. Can struggle a bit on backhand. Their forehands are great. Their serves are great. But Fritz, I think, has a little bit of a better serve. They've played some close matches, but Fritz has come out on top, which could definitely be a bit of a mental thing as well. But like I was saying earlier, Fritz, if he wants to win, I think he's got to really be aggressive. I think he's got to serve just as well as he's been serving the whole event. When he's been beating Andrey, it's not been the 49% first serves in like he did in Monte Carlo last year. It's been 60% something first serves in at the least. Like when he got 61% first serves in Cincinnati, he won 7-5 in the third. When he's been doing like 70%, it's been straight sets. Like I don't know if it's necessarily what's the word? I don't know if it's directly related, but at the same time, that's a big stat. And Fritz has got to do well to survive on the backhand, hit as many forehands as he can. Have a solid defense as well, building out the points as Rublev tries to dictate. Like I said, he's been playing on the baseline. But yeah, the serve's been unstoppable in the event. And if he could keep that going, then that would be really, really good. Rublev was absolutely crushing returns versus Alcaraz, consistent depth. He's got to return well and stay calm. But yeah, he's going to do the Rublev thing. We'll see what Fritz does. The things that Fritz needs to do are a little bit more important. But Rublev staying calm, like he did in the last match, is important as well. Staying calm, return well, and try to dictate, not let Fritz be the aggressive one. Oh, Francisco. Oh, Cerundolo. Yep, 3-set loss to Taylor. Twin Reba lost. Why? Yeah, 7-6 in the third. That was an epic one. I caught the end of that one after I came back home from. I played a tennis match. I lost. I played the number one guy in my tennis league. He beat me 6-0, 7-5. First seconds I was closer than the first set. It's all right. I kind of in some ways I like the challenge. I like losing because you learn from it. So it's all good. In other ways I don't like it, but I don't like it at all. Your pronunciation of Ipswich is much better than ruin. Okay, good. That was me just saying how I thought it sounded as American. How it sounds just like in the most English way possible, but Ipswich is pronounced right. Okay, cool. This would have been better if it was Shelton or Korda. Yeah. Well, those guys are more flashy than Fritz. Yeah. I like watching Fritz as well, to be honest. But Korda's definitely. I would love to. I was saying this to my dad the other day. I would love it. Who also follows tennis. I would love it if Korda gets to the top 10 and stays there. That would be a great thing for tennis, just all across the board. How good would that be for tennis? Hey, guy hits as clean as anybody. Guy has a great personality and great kind of attitude. Like, there's nothing. Same thing for Shelton, too. He brings something different. Those would both be great things for the sport. And Korda in particular, I'm just like, I would love to see Korda step it up. That forehand goes wide from Rublev, so 30-15. Serve here from Andrey. Backhand, that's in the ground. Good serving. With a serve out wide, 40-15. When I say Fritz has better serve than Rublev, I don't mean by a whole lot. I mean, Rublev's got a solid serve, but I got to feel like Fritz has the better serve. He's improved so much on that second serve throughout his career. I still feel like Rublev's got stuff to be desired from on his second serve. That backhand is a great shot from Andrey. Right into the corner, so 3-2. Early stages. Are there different ways of pronouncing Ipswich? I thought that was pretty straightforward. Probably. I think I got it right. I don't know at this point, I don't know. Hopefully. I was very lucky to be at Wimbledon. John Isser versus Maku year 2010. Man, I remember one time I just decided I'm going to sit down and watch the whole match on YouTube. I didn't quite do it, I think. I don't think I watched the whole thing, but I watched on and off. I watched 7 or 8 hours of it in a 1-day period. And I got to say, it sounds horrific. I was very entertained by it. I was like, man, I'm watching tennis history right here. That match, even if we kept extended 5th sets, that match was never going to happen again. People don't understand how crazy that match is still. I think a lot of people kind of do, but it goes even beyond a level what a lot of people understand. That match is a contender for the craziest thing that's happened in sports in terms of a scoreline. It's unbelievable, especially with tennis, which is so small margins. That match is next level. And a stat to prove it as well. The match that has the second most amount of games ever in a tennis match. The match that has the second most amount of games ever in a tennis match. The last set, I think, was 39-37, or one of the sets was 39-37. If you include all the games in that match combined, all the games in every single one of those 5 sets combined, it still doesn't equal the amount of games in just the 5th set alone of Isner-Mahut. Second most games ever in a tennis match. And I think it's something crazy 30 games behind it or something. 70-68, it's unbelievable. If it was 40-38, it would already be, we've never seen that before. We've never seen anything like it before. 40-38. That would already be like, how in the hell did that happen? But we played 38 more games than that. No. Is that right? 38? No, 40. 40 more games than that. That's crazy. Like 40 individual games where any guy could have won 2 consecutive. It's unbelievable. Backhand cross court's a great angle from Andrey. Backhand, very good defense from Fritz. Has improved a lot. Backhand, down line, forehand to Fritz. Backhand to Rublev. Forehand to Fritz, cross court. Forehand to Rublev. The backhand to Fritz. Backhand to Rublev. That goes long. So 15-all. You're there all 3 days, Tom. No, only the last stars in the grounds. That's really cool anyway, though, Tom. The second day must have been the craziest. Because I think they started the 5th set on the second day. That's really crazy. I think they started the 5th set on the second day. And then, I mean, that match is a classic. I don't care what anybody says. I think it's a classic. No matter what as a match to remember, Tom. Wow, was it 72-70 in the last tiebreak? 70-68. And not tiebreaker in a 5th set. So, yeah, that match will never be repeated again. I kind of hope at some point down the road we get back to extended 5th sets because that was the best tennis has to offer. But anyway. Forehand big. The forehand of Fritz. Forehand of Rublev. Forehand of Fritz. Backhand slice of Rublev. Backhand drop shot. Fritz. Oh, it's a great shot. Fritz, I mean, I saw a comment on Instagram. Fritz reached the semifinal, and people were like, somebody said, how can a guy as unremarkable as Taylor Fritz reach the semi? And I don't think I'm being biased. Fritz gets here with hard work, and he gets here with hard work, man. He's improved in so many ways. You can't underestimate Fritz's hard work. And when a guy's working this hard, and he's this good, it doesn't matter if he's as flashy as Shelton or anything. Like, he's going to have some good results. And now he's having good results across all surfaces. The improvements we've seen even this year. I mean, last year he struggled a little bit despite getting 2 titles. But this year already making a clay final. Defense looking really, really good. Backhand looking really, really good. The way he's improved his movement in general over his career, second serve. This guy works hard. He improves a lot. His backhand as well. Who coaches Fritz? Forgot Michael Russell. That forehand squash shot goes out. So, few long games already here early. Few long games here early. The American at number 13 in the world, by the way, hasn't moved up yet, but he's clearing a huge gap from who's at number 12. And I almost forgot and couldn't believe who was at number 12 because I totally forgot he even dropped out of the top 10. But Holger Rune is at number 12. So it makes sense that there's a big gap for him to climb up in the rankings. Rune, Demonor are 12 and 11, which is pretty crazy. It feels like there's more respect now for players outside of the Sinner, Alcaraz, Medvedev, Djokovic camp at this point after Monte Carlo and Madrid. Backhand hits the tape, goes over. Fritz. Backhand Rublev, backhand Fritz. Backhand Rublev, backhand Fritz again, going backhand to backhand again, backhand Fritz, back to the backhand Rublev. Fritz runs around with forehand inside out, and it goes wide. So Deuce shows up again at the front door. And yeah, Michael Russell. Michael Russell was cool. Michael Russell was always around. He was always fighting. Can't remember. There's some crazy stat with Michael Russell. Like, he played 65 consecutive Grand Slams or something like that. Like, there's some crazy stat with him. Okay, it wasn't that because I can clearly see that that wasn't the case. But I forgot what it was. But I can't remember what it was. But back in the day, I remember thinking his fighting, his longevity was really fascinating. Okay, I remember what it was a little bit, I think. Yeah, he only really started to really excel, I think, when he really started getting a little bit older. He was around a little while. Yeah. It was like 2010 when he started doing well. And by then he was already 32, 33. And then he stayed around for like 4 or 5 years. All right, Fritz gets the hold. So we're at 3 games apiece. Gonna gift a member for every set FA wins tonight. Hey, Joe. Appreciate that. See what Felix can do. See what Ojalisim can do. Serve down the tee is very good from Rublev. Appreciate everybody joining in so far. Please don't forget to subscribe to Quality Shot Tennis if you are new. What do you guys think of the new Quality Shot Tennis logo, by the way? It's a new logo, new banner. I like it. I think it's cool. We have a new website as well. Quality Shot Tennis has a new website too, which is great. Another serve here from Rublev. The back end of Fritz, 400 Rublev. That goes out, so 15 all. But I like the new logo. I think the new logo, I like the racket and the ball stands out to me right away. The tennis aspect of it. I think it looks cool. I like it. Love the new logo. Nice, Joe. Yeah, I think it's cool. Serve here, Andrey. Forehand, Andrey. At the forehand of Fritz. Forehand of Andrey. Backhand, Taylor. Down the line. That goes out. 30-15. A few things to be desired here from the backhand of Taylor Fritz early. Few things to be desired from that Taylor Fritz backhand early. A little bit. Serve out wide, backhand of Fritz. The forehand of Rublev. Forehand of Rublev again. The forehand of Fritz. A little aggressive. Backhand Fritz. Down the line. The forehand of Rublev. This is an interesting point. Backhand. Rublev, forehand drop shot Fritz. Forehand Rublev gets there in no time. Fritz was, Rublev, he was smacking winners in the match against Alcaraz, but guess what else he had was the speed. He was running up to balls when Alcaraz was giving it to him. Alcaraz did not play a very smart match, to be honest, at times, especially in the second and third sets. He did not seem fully locked in. I don't think it was a fault of him not trying. I think it was a fault of some larger things. He also had some physical issues as well, but forehand is shanked long from Fritz. If I was to say who has had the stronger start, it would be very close. Don't think either guy is completely miles ahead of the other by any means. I would say it's like 53, 55% Rublev at this point. I would have said Fritz. He had the early break. He's been doing decent, but I don't know. He's had a few backhand errors. He let up his own serve after he broke Rublev in his at 1-0, which was not ideal. I thought I subscribed to some new channel without knowing when I checked YouTube today. we look brand new. It's a rebrand. Same channel, new logo. Forgot what year Marty Fish retired. Was it 2015, 2016? I think it was 2016. Same year as the Olympics. '15. Someone should make a collage of about 30 pictures, all of Andrey Rublev's faces. He can look 16. He can look 85. He can. He can look a bit like a zombie, too. He can look a bit like a zombie, too. A little bit. I don't mean that in a negative way, even. I don't even mean that in a negative way. It's just the way he looks. Sometimes. But not in a bad way. But also in other ways, at other times, he can look great. So, yeah. Different faces of Andrey. New logo, same great content. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you, Joe. Backhand, the backhand of Rublev, backhand volley Fritz. Forehand of Rublev, lob, smash, put away. 15 love here. Despite me saying who's playing better, the point of what I was saying of who's playing better is that it's very close so far. Neither guy's made a huge stride ahead of this match so far. Kind of similar to their match in Monte Carlo. First set was very back and forth. They traded like 5 breaks in the first set. Not quite the same story here, but it's not clear who's going to pull it out. It's not clear who's pulling out the first set. Back into Fritz, the back into Rublev. Back into Fritz, the back into Rublev, that's in the net. What's up, Maynor? Question is, what does the guy actually look like? I don't know. I guess look at the match right now. That's what is his real face? What is Andrey's real face? Sounds like he's just wearing masks or something. Yeah, I don't know. We're at 4 games apiece as we close out the first set. Serve here from Rublev. Serve Rublev. Forehand to Fritz. Backhand Fritz. Back into Rublev down the line. Forehand slice of Fritz. Goes out. $15 love. $30 love for Rublev. Some big serves. Backhand Fritz. Defensive lob. Smash Rublev. Put away. Something I'll say about Rublev is he doesn't kid around. It's part of the reason he beats so many players below him. Rublev seems to be quite good, in my opinion, of putting away leads when he has a lead in a point, making sure he finishes it off, which is part of the reason he's so good. It's kind of that killer instinct. Part of the reason he's so good and very few can get below him. So you can't play around with Andrey. But that's the thing. Top 10 players are not going to play around. You know what I mean? That goes out from Fritz as Rublev gets the 5-4, a game away from this first set. The more experienced on a clay court, there's no doubt about it, is Andrey. Andrey Rublev. More experienced is Andrey Rublev. I want Lehechka to win the whole thing. That would be kind of hilarious. Maybe. I mean, it would be great, though, because also another guy who's not Sinner and Alcaraz, another young guy, comes up and wins a Masters. Hey, wouldn't it be hilarious if he wins a clay Masters before Holger does, before Casper does, before Thiem does, before Ferrer does? Ferrer and Thiem never won a clay Masters. Rune still has not. Don't know why they're showing Rublev throw his racket on the ground from the first game, but guy controlling the camera shots is having fun. Yeah, it'd be great. Let's see what happens. Hey, Anthony. Hey, what's up, Matt? Who's the last American man to win Masters 1000 on clay since 1990? I am thinking Agassi. That's a good question. I haven't thought about it. Fritz is the first guy in Madrid to ever reach the semifinal here of when this has been a clay event. First American man to reach this. semifinal stage. Yeah, Agassi definitely has. I don't think Roddick has ever won a Clay Masters, especially with Rafa in the picture. Rafa was in the picture in 03, 02, 03, 04, but I'm not sure if he ever has. Although maybe in like Hamburg when Roger did not win it, because Roger was actually very dominant in Germany. It's a pretty interesting question, Matt. Back in Rublev, the back in Fritz. Forehand Rublev. Oh, what a shot inside in. That shouldn't be a real angle. That should not be a real angle. Backhand. The forehand of Rublev. Oh, what a forehand. That's in the net. Rublev is playing so phenomenal. Did Chang? I doubt Sampras did. Yes, Sampras, I don't think so. Chang is possible. I'm going to check. I'm going to look at a few different players because that's actually a very interesting question. It's a very interesting question, Matt. Yeah, Roddick never did on clay. He only reached the quarterfinal in Hamburg. Forehand of Rublev, the forehand of Fritz, forehand now down the line, back into Fritz. That's in the ground. That it feels like Fritz's level on the serve, on the backhand, on the defense is not quite where it was in his last few matches, which is a bit unfortunate. We'll see if he raises his level. I mean, listen, I don't know. In Monte Carlo, he won the first set. He lost in the second and third. So it's not like the first set. It doesn't feel like the first set is the most crucial thing here, maybe? I don't know. But anyway, it's Rublev with the 3-set points. Sir Fritz. Back in Fritz. That's in the net. A terrible service game. Fritz's serve has been unstoppable. Rublev with some big shouts and come-ons. I really think that Rublev has a bit of a mental thing with Fritz. I don't know what it is exactly, but it's his to overcome here. He's going to try to tap the head-to-head 4-4. I know it says 5-3 on ATP, but let's like stop. For me, I don't like to include Laver Cup in head-to-heads. If you do, that's fine, but I'm going to say that head-to-head is 4-3. This is for Rublev trying to tie up that head-to-head 4-4. Because they also play in like ITF Junior fight. Are we including that? Like, what are we including? Like Laver Cup, like the guys don't take it as serious as like a Madrid semifinal. Rublev favored to win Madrid, I think. Yeah, I think he is. A lot depends on this match. I don't think a lot of people are expecting FA or Lehechka to beat Rublev, or maybe even Fritz if Fritz is able to beat Rublev. So this isn't a final kind of situation, I don't think, because it's not like Alcaraz or Djokovic is in this match, where it feels really like Rublev is though. But if you understand what I'm saying, I just don't. It doesn't seem to me like it's a definite thing that whoever wins this gets through, because it's been a really chaotic tournament. But that being said, they're definitely the favorite, whoever gets through this. And yeah, Michael Chang, when's the last time he won a clay event? Still want to figure out last American to win a clay event, because that's a great question from Matt in the chat. Actually, hold up. It says Chang never won a Clay Masters, which is pretty insane. Yeah, Michael Chang never even made it to the final of a Clay Masters event. That's strange, honestly. That is strange, because obviously he has the 2 Roland Garros finals, the Roland Garros title. Michael Chang has made 9 Masters finals on hard courts, never even made a final on a clay court. That's really odd. Man, the American struggles on clay court date back farther than I even remember. Because I always thought of Chang as an absolute master on clay court, but he never even reached the final. So who would have then? Agassi? When did he do it? I'm putting in the research. Agassi. Let me see. So actually only reached one final on clay courts himself at a Masters event. I wonder why that is. But that was in 2002 in Rome. 2002 in Rome. I don't know why that is, honestly. Because weren't back in the day, weren't there also 3-4 clay Masters events? Who was winning all the Masters? I guess Mooster. Mooster was pretty dominant, honestly. He was playing around that time. But it's still weird, right? Yeah, like Mooster won 8. No, yeah, Mooster won 8 clay Masters events. Thomas Mooster is underrated. I'm glad he reached world number 1 because at least then his name is cemented into history a little bit. People don't even talk about the guy. He's one of the best clay courters ever. He's one of the better players ever. He's not the best, but he's pretty good. He's got some great achievements. 44-11 in finals. Go Ruby, yep. Yahoo, no mercy, Rublev. Yep, absolutely. What is FTK? I can't do it with all these acronyms. What is that? FTK acronym. Here we go. Oh, that's great. Okay. Love it, Lexi. Love it. Andrey actually Rome in 2002. I guess that's the last one. So Fritz would be trying to win the first clay Masters in 22 years. Wish I had seen Agsy's Queen's Club appearance. It was a while ago. Yeah. I mean Agsy was a force on all of the surfaces. Queens is a contender for. It's probably my second favorite event of the whole year. I love the Queen's Club event. Only behind Wimbledon. Roland Garros has to be up there too. That's in the net from Rublev. So early start here from Fritz. He did get the early break in the first game of the first set. 15:30 here. Backhand goes out. I got that song now stuck in my head. Come and get your girl. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, dun, 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 dun. Come and get your girl. They're playing that on the changeover. Hate that song. No, I'm just kidding. Song's great. 4 into Fritz, the 4 into Rublev. That's shanked. So 30-40, a break point here for Fritz. Break point here for Fritz. Actually don't care for Rublev facing the final. Just want him to win this. Fair enough. And he'll be a favorite. He'll be the favorite, so. Let's see what happens. Break point here for Taylor. Oh, serve is very close. I think it was worth a challenge. But I guess Fritz is confident it was in. It was very close to the line there. Back to deuce. Serve here from Andrey. Back in Rublev, the back into Fritz. Back into Rublev. Cross court, 4 into Rublev, the back into Fritz. Back in Rublev, cross court, the back into Fritz. 4 into Rublev. 4 into Taylor, great sliding there. Into that shot's in the net. The improvement in movement from the American have been big thing for him. Big strides in that department, especially on the clay court. And listen, I know both these guys want to be aggressive, but both these guys, when they've had to move, they've been doing well in that department as well. But Fritz, if he can improve on this backhand as well, not hitting so many errors, that could be a big thing. And that's a forehand now, which is an error goes wide, so we're back to deuce. Hey, what's up, Matt? Good to have you in the chat. Rublev, let's see what Rublev can do. Just me or Rublev, come on. Who? Deuce here, Rublev serve. Serve Andrey, the 4 into Fritz, back into Rublev. That's a great shot. So advantage to Rublev. Advantage to Rublev. Arrive just as Anthony shows us his singing voice. Yeah, I mean, that's a classic, though. Come and get your girl. Hey, hey. I was in Guardians of the Galaxy, wasn't it? I think I remember that. At the end of one of the movies or something. 1-0 for Rublev. If they ever create a grass master, should be at Queens or Hala. I vote Hala. Yeah, there's just a few issues, to be honest. They need to make a lot more courts. And they also Hala, I mean. And that also, oftentimes there can be shadows that crawl over the courts there. It's a little bit weird. And there are other things like that. But yeah, I mean, the bigger thing, obviously, is that it's going to be a lot of work to maintain grass courts, especially for a big event like that over potentially even 2 weeks, because a lot of the Masters seems like they're going towards 2 weeks. But even for 1 week. But they need to do it. Grass Masters is definitely a step in the right direction for the sport, no matter what it takes. Backing down the line is long from Rublev. So 15 love for Fritz. And yeah, should it be at which one should it be at? I think the more sensible option is Hala. Especially because Queens is in the exact same, like it's in the same place as, not the same place, but it's very close to where Wimbledon is at. So having a Masters and a Slam there is a little bit strange. So also giving another big event to Germany again, which they used to have, would be big, especially as they have some great German players now, and Angelique Kerber and Zverev as well. So it kind of makes sense in a lot of ways. So yeah, it's a great serve from Fritz. So 30-15. Is Thomas Muster in a car crash once? He was in some kind of accident. Can't remember if it was Muster, but there was an incident where a guy was just sitting inside, a tennis player sitting inside a building just eating a dinner, and a car crashed through the building and he got injured from it, which is an insane story. If I remember the story correctly. I don't know if it was Muster though. But I think Muster got into some weird accident. So it could have been him. Let me see. Muster played tennis for a long time though. As Fritz gets the hold for 1-1. Okay, so I don't think that was Muster, but yeah, Muster was getting something out of the trunk of a car when it was struck head-on by another car. Wow. That's really crazy. Car is driving on the wrong side of the street. So yeah, he was involved in a crash. 15 love here for Rublev. Starting off the second set. Let's see if he can maintain the momentum. Second serve here from the Russian. $15 Really got that song stuck in my head. Hey, hey, dun, dun, dun. That's a great thing to start off the chorus, not just with words, but just with like, hey, hey. That's when you know you've made a classic song. When you make the catchiest thing ever and you're not even saying anything. Hey, hey, come and get your girl. All right, serve here from Rublev. Back into Fritz. It's a lob. That goes out. So 40-15 for Rublev. Queens doesn't have facilities and Masters too small. Yeah, neither does, I didn't think they did Terry. But neither does Hala, though. But that being said, Hala has issued a statement that they want to add court. So we'll see what happens with it. Forehand is too good from Rublev. 2-1. Honestly, though, whoever gets it, I just want them to have a Grass Masters. Whatever capacity that is. I want them to have a Grass Masters. Bit biased. I love the Queen's Tournament, but whatever happens. Rublev 4 games away from another Masters final, by the way. Huge tournament here from Rublev, for Rublev. And, I mean, but I think it's the ugly truth that, at least in my opinion, a lot of people don't like to admit. A lot of tennis is about, you know, staying healthy, not getting injured. Honestly, that's a part of it. It's a part of the sport. And part of it is luck. Absolutely. Part of it is the luck of the draw. There's no doubt about it. But also, Alcaraz lost to Rublev. Rublev beat Alcaraz, you know. Like I was saying earlier, Lehechka beat Ruud. Tsitsipas was beaten fair and square earlier in the event as well. Some great players out. So, I mean, we've started out with some great events. Everybody who's left has had some great wins to get to this point. Maybe not ideal, it isn't, but in terms of, you know, having the top guys, but it is what it is. The tournament panned out the way it did. Rublev's vying for his 5th Masters final, by the way. With this one, it would be his 9th semifinal, I believe. Yep, 9th, or wait, maybe 8th. 8th semifinal. It'll be his 8th semifinal of a Masters event. It would be his 8th semifinal of a Masters event, his 9th semifinal of a big event whatsoever, because he has not reached the semis of a slam. He's reached the quarterfinals a ridiculous 10 times. He's also reached the semis of the ATP finals in 2022. I remember that, where he lost to Casper in the semis there. It was like 6-2, 7-6 or something. Serve from Fritz. Back into Rublev, the forehand to Fritz. Back into Rublev, back into Fritz. Backhand, forehand Fritz. Back into Rublev, way up high, forehand Fritz. Great shot. Cross court. Great forehand there from Taylor. I personally think Alcaraz's injury has proved the schedule is overloaded. It absolutely is overloaded. I mean, these 2-week Masters are not great. I mean, despite their having 1-day breaks for the players, it's well overloaded. It's definitely overloaded, the schedule with 2 weeks, especially on the WTA side, but for the ATP guys as well. It's just I don't understand the point of doing all this. It seems inane and just no point. I think Gil Gross has said this before. The players are the product, and the players are what makes tennis tennis. Try to support the players better. We see so many injuries. Also, the ever-changing tennis balls are not great. That forehand goes out. Faison has suggested this. Is that Faison from the channel suggested, the head of the channel, suggested that hey, why not just paint the words on the balls for each brand and get on with the frickin' day. Get on with it. Why are we changing the balls each time to be different? Like, hey, how about use the same balls? We make it easier in every way possible instead of making this circus of it, and just put the words of the brand on the balls. Why would that be not a great in-between kind of option? It seems to make a lot of the things seem to make not that much sense. The forehand to Fritz. It seems like a good way of getting around the issue. Yesterday, other than Sabalenka Rybakina, was absolutely a bummer. Oh, it absolutely was. Yannick withdrawing, then Medvedev retiring, and Swiatek getting through as easily as she did. Yeah, it wasn't a great day, but that was actually a proper match, and that was good to see. But yeah, otherwise it was definitely not a great day. Forehand inside in, very good from Rublev, 15 all. Let's see what Rublev can do. 15 all. backhand of Rublev, the forehand of Fritz. That's in the net. 30-15. Just feels like Rublev's playing slightly better than Fritz. I don't know what it is. Is Fritz a little bit tired? He also reached the final of Munich as well. Is he a little bit tired? Is an interesting question. I don't know. But he's looking like a little bit, like his intensity isn't quite there. He doesn't feel like, I don't know. Just feels like the level is not what it was. That's a hold from Rublev, so 3-2. But these 2-week tournaments have to be exhausting. I mean, with so many 2-week events throughout the year, I mean, guess what? It feels like we're going to, it's what Fritz said, actually, is that we're going to a place where we're splitting up the tour and the top guys are playing just the big events. They're playing just the 13 big events, and then you have the rest of the guys, the rest of the tour outside of like the top 80, 90, 100 players in the world playing everything else. Or maybe like the top players outside the top 40, 50 playing the 250s, the 500s. It just feels like we're guiding towards that. And I don't like it. I don't think that's tennis. I don't think it's good in a lot of ways. I'm fine with some changes for tennis. I understand that there's some changes for tennis that could make sense to appealing more to a global market and being more similar to some of the other sports. But I think tennis also works because we stand out and we differentiate. And I've spoken about this before, but you know, for it being global and for the exposure and for all the great historic tournaments that we have throughout the year and the fact that tennis is always going on, but we have variety, hopefully, throughout the season. It's one of the things that makes tennis great, and you have great stories intertwined throughout the whole season. You have shifts and changes, momentum. It's the great thing of tennis. You have tennis is always going on, but you have the great stories between that throughout the circus of tennis, and you have guys dominating like the big three, but more often you have guys just kind of going up then down and going up and down. You're very fascinated to see how everybody is going to do every point, every game, every match. But you know, it seems like we're going to a place where we're not going to have that. It seems like we're going to a place where we're having 2-week Masters events where a lot of fans are zoning out a little bit at times. And yeah, also with so many of these tournaments are becoming slow hard courts and slow surfaces. Grass is seemingly becoming more obsolete. I don't know. It feels like we're not going to a very good spot. Also, pickleball being in the Miami event, like there's certain things, changeovers becoming shorter. It just feels like, hey, there's so many changes that would be great for the sport. Like, hey, why not have a video replay for double bounces and for stuff like that? Like, there's so many changes that make so much obvious sense. And then then we have these kind of changes. So it's just my opinion, but I'm a big tennis fan, and I think that I kind of hope that that's not the direction the sport goes, because the sport is special and it stands out in a way that might be hard to understand or might be take a little bit more time for fans to get into. But when they get into it, they become diehard fans, and I hope that we can keep that up. That's a great forehand cross court from Rublev into the deuce side. So love 30. So love 30. How about Eastbourne? They would have to reconstruct the schedule if possible. Seems like the weather's horrible there. Yeah, I was just going to say, I'm just going to be fully honest. That's just not my favorite tournament of the grass ones. But it seems like they have weather issues. The courts aren't my favorite of all the courts. But listen, whoever gets the grass Masters, I'm fine. Like, if we could just get that going, that'd be great for my liking. That shot goes out from... what happened here? Fritz conceded the point. These guys are good friends, I tell you what. That's very nice from Fritz there. Not sure exactly what happened, though. I'm trying to figure it out exactly. Didn't catch it. Let me know if you caught that in the chat, because I'm going to be honest, I was a bit slow to catching that one. Serve into the net. Whereas Francis Diafano, he's doing okay. Got to the final of Houston, but he lost early this tournament to Kachin, who's honestly playing pretty well. So I don't know. We'll see how he does in surfaces he enjoys more than clay. Wow. Another overrule. Umpire says the ball is in from Fritz. It's called, and Rublev thinks it's out. So And it is in. So replay the point. We can't escape this love 30 points somehow. This is the third time we're playing this point out. We are stuck in a loop, guys. Twilight Zone stuff. We're stuck in a loop. We are never getting out of the 6-4, 3-2 love 30 Fritz Rublev point in the Madrid Masters semifinal. This is just what it's going to be from now on. I really am half expecting we're going to play this again. Okay. Forehand into the net from Fritz. So 3 break points for Rublev. If Fritz showed up with a higher level, I mean, listen, the odds were actually stacking up in his favor in a lot of ways. But Fritz has been disappointing today. Fritz has been disappointing today. Serve from Fritz. Into the net. Second serve here. Just an hour and 3 minutes. Already looking like Rublev's going to completely crack this thing wide open. Forehand of Rublev. Back in Fritz. Back into Rublev. Back in Fritz. Back in slice of Rublev. That goes out. So 15-40. All right. Let's see if Fritz can fight here. Fritz's serve has not been here. What did I say about Fritz's serve earlier in the match? That it had to be at the top of his game. I said a key for Fritz is to make at least 60% of his first serves in play. This is not going to be good enough. I mean, that's not even terrible, but it's just not good enough. 56% is not good enough. And in this set, it's 46%. That's why the scoreline is what the scoreline is. The first serve of Fritz is much better than second serve. That's true for both these guys. They play pretty similarly, both these guys, in some ways. Backhand Rublev. Serve from Fritz is a little bit better. Rublev's backhand is a little bit better. Backhand defending. Rublev forehand. That goes out. 30-40. Fritz, fight. Fight, Fritz. One more. There's a comeback here. There's a comeback. Comeback in this game. To 30-40. Taylor sponsored by Chipotle. Best sponsor I've ever seen in my life. That's hilarious. Yeah, it was a few months ago, I think he got the Chipotle sponsor. He's like, I'm excited about it. Forehand slice, Rublev dictating, backhand defending down the line. Rublev forehand cross court. Fritz defending, lob. Surely Rublev can get this point. Smash. Oh, they make it. I think Shock flew up. Rublev apologizes. Fritz gives a bit of a smile. Rublev did not mean for that smash to be as close as it was. These are obviously two of the better friends on tour. These guys seem to be on very good terms with one another as Rublev tries to tie up that Ted 4-4. Bit strange that Fritz leads that Ted, but it's a great sign for Fritz, and that's why Fritz has been top 5. Yeah, Chalk flew way up, so it was clear that it was in. That's that in real time Hawkeye. When the chalk flies up like that, you know it's in. Forehand Fritz. Rublev inside out is too good. That's a winner. Rublev completely. I mean, listen, we're not getting a whole lot of close matches, are we, in this tournament? Not getting a whole lot of close matches. Let's see if we get one with Lahech Cafe later today. But that is a really strange semifinal. But let's see. It could be good. Two young guys, FA and Lahech Cafe, has been around much longer. Much longer. Feels like FA is a veteran now. He's 23. Felix is like 2 months older than I am. Feels like he's like an absolute veteran of the tour. Same thing with Chapo, by the way. Both those guys feel like they've been around forever. The forehand of Rublev, that's too good. Rublev fully dictating this match, so 40 love. Rublev's playing phenomenally, loves clay. People are saying what's Rublev's best surface because he was very even win percentage across all the surfaces. Is it an argument now? He's also the closest he's been to making a slam semifinal has come at the French. I think at this point, clay is Rublev's best surface. And he gets the 5-2 in the second set. 6-4, 5-2. Clay is Rublev's best surface. Bit of it's a disappointing performance from Fritz a little bit. I'm not going to lie, but Rublev's playing well. I'm doing a story next week on American Tennis. I'm mentioning pickleball. I went to a local high school tennis match this week. Tennis is in big trouble in the United States. Yeah, absolutely. It's taken over everywhere. I just went to courts yesterday, and they're pickleball courts. They're refashioning them to be pickleball courts. It's ridiculous. I don't understand why, and it's stupid. So probably that's why I threw up in Acapulco last year because of the Mexican food. That's funny. Can't really cheer, but as an American, I do like Fritz. I think he's a cool customer. Felt so bad for him at RG last year, the way those fans treated him. That celebration was so good. Celebration was so good from Fritz because he only did it when he won the match. And that was a great celebration. Yeah, I like Fritz as well. I did feel bad. I mean, the fans at RG can be very, very cruel and quite a lot to deal with. They can be quite an annoying crowd, to be honest, at times. Like, I remember when Hingis went off the court crying as well. But it is what it is. But crowds will be as crowds will be, which isn't great. I mean, listen, the crowd, I don't know. I always feel like if a crowd goes at a player, the player has the right to go at a crowd. Like, this isn't a one-way. Like, the player might as well, like, you know what I mean? Like, we're all just people. Like, if you go at anybody, they have the same right to go back at you. I understand the mob mentality thing, but anyway. One of the tennis coaches I talked to say he felt there's a place for both pickleball and tennis in the U.S. I'm really not sure about that when tennis courts becoming obsolete. I'm not as, doomed. I'm not, like, putting on doomsday warnings or anything. But it's unfortunate. And tennis is a better sport than pickleball. So tennis will survive. Tennis is a better sport. Usually the things that are better just stay longer. They have a longer staying power. So that's what I'm banking on. I don't think pickleball, if it was like paddle and weird paddle courts, then I'd be worried because paddle is awesome. But pickleball, nah, we're good. Tennis is so popular. It's a problem, but it's not an end-all situation, I think. Hopefully. That's what it seems like to me. I can play on all surfaces, but the real tennis is on clay, Andrey Rublev. I think it's his best surface. Challenge here from Fritz. Serve. Oh, it's very close. Serve is in by a millimeter. Great challenge from Fritz. Hawkeye. Got the eye of a hawk. 40 love. He's still in the match. It has been very one-sided, though. This has been a very weird Masters event altogether. I hope Swiatek Sabalenka brings it like it did last year. And I hope that on the women's side, it's been a little bit better, for sure. Even though yesterday was, well, I mean, it was just Swiatek. Woman WTA side's been way better. But I hope Swiatek Sabalenka brings in. I hope that FA Lachka and the whatever the final is brings it as well. Even though Rublev, it seems like it's going to be Rublev, and it seems like Rublev is going to be a big favorite. By the way, guys, please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to QualityShot Tennis already. Forehand chip, the forehand to Rublev, side out, back into Fritz. Forehand to Rublev, forehand to Fritz. Forehand to Rublev, back into Fritz. Back into Rublev, back into Fritz down the line. Forehand to Rublev, forehand to Fritz. That goes long. Goes long. 15 love for Andrey. Forehand chip. That goes long, so 30 love. It feels like Rublev is going to try to get to 5 finals. Seems like he's going to get to his 5th. By the way, guys, we're sitting at 16 likes. Please don't forget to like the stream if you enjoy. If we could get to at least 20 likes, 20, 21 likes, that'd be great. Let's try to see if we can get there. Serve here, Rublev at 30 love. It's a great serve. Rublev's just played a phenomenal match. I mean, what more is there to say? Rublev's played a phenomenal match. After Rublev won their semifinal, Fritz set to Rublev at the net, win it all, will you? We'll see if there's some words here. But Rublev is looking like he's going to take the match here. And Rublev wins. He's back. He's back. Rublev's back in business. And I mean, the way this guy's been so consistent over the years. He's back in business. I didn't expect it. But he's back on the clay, which he loves. Good hug between the two as well. 6-4, 6-3. Rublev ties up that 10-4-4 unless you include Laver Cup, in which case Fritz is still winning. But Rublev is through. He'll take on Felix or Lehechka in the next round. Ojay Aliassime or Yuri Lehechka. He'll be a big favorite against either one. Some huge shots from Andrey. Rublev, it felt like Fritz wasn't there. His serve wasn't there like it has been the whole tournament. Felt like his backhand was a bit weaker. Some unforced errors at the start. It felt like Rublev was doing his thing, though. He's dictating well, hitting his spots. It felt like a tale of two stories, though. Fritz, definitely not the same level he had been showing the whole tournament. And Rublev just, continuing right where he left off against Alcaraz. So, two wins against players that have been top 5 in the world in a row. Fritz with a great event. I mean, listen, I actually picked Fritz to make it to the semifinals here, which I'm quite proud of. But a lot of people did not. But I think Fritz has proven he's a guy to deal with on clay courts as well. It's a great run from him. He has not climbed up the rankings, but he's really shortened the gap between him and Holger Rune, at 12 and 13. The rankings are very interesting at the ATP rankings right now. I mean, listen, everybody in the top 15, 16, this was not the case even maybe like 2 months ago. Feels like they're really big powerhouse players. Like, these are players that are really tough. And we saw that in this match. I mean, listen, Madrid and Monte Carlo have shown, listen, we've got a lot of great players in the rankings. Djokovic, Sinner, Alcaraz, Medvedev, yep. And then Zverev, Ruud, Rublev. I mean, we know all those guys. And Ruud now with Monte Carlo, Rublev now with Madrid, and he's been at the top. Zverev's been pretty consistent. But also Tsitsipas with Monte Carlo. Hurkacz has proven he's tough. Dimitrov has proven he's tough, and he might only climb up more in the rankings. Demonor, Rune, I mean, those are really tough customers. Fritz, Shelton, Hugo Humbert, Tommy Paul. I mean, these are tough players. Bublik is at 17. Who knows if he'll keep rising, but Karin Khachanov. I mean, these are tough players. Sebastian Baez. The rankings are looking much more, like these are players who are threatening and might climb up. So I feel like this tournament is just another extension of that, just like Monte Carlo was. It's a good way of starting the clay swing. I don't think a lot of people expected it. It's a good way of starting the clay swing. We've got 3 more big clay events to go, with Olympics, with Roland Garros, where Djokovic tries to defend. Alcaraz will really try to instill himself. Hopefully he's healthy. Hopefully everyone is healthy. It feels like no one's healthy. And Rome. Alcaraz pulled out of Rome today, which is definitely unfortunate. Hopefully Sinner is healthy for Rome, because he seems to play well in Rome. That's his home crowd. But Fritz, 55% of first serves in was not good enough. He did decent on second serve points, I guess, but it's still not 50. I mean, if most of the points he's playing, he's making 50. He's winning just 57% on his own serve. That's not going to be good enough. He's broken 3 out of 6 occasions on break points. And yeah, I don't know. It just, this is not correct. The errors and winners is not correct. Fritz definitely hit more unforced errors than 6. That's ridiculous. I don't know what that even means. But anyway, 6-4, 6-3 for Rublev. He gets through. So that's what we got. Gonna head out. Summer clay swing is going to be fun this year leading into the Olympics. It's going to be all-time good. It's going to be all-time good. There's not, I mean, with Rafa back as well, hopefully. He stays healthy. Yahoo. Hopefully Nadal can stay healthy. Rublev champion, yep. Rublev through. Congrats, Rublev. Sorry, Taylor, yep. Rublev through to the final. See you later. Taylor back to U.S. #1 player. Let's go. Yeah, I was before this match, but yeah, Taylor back to U.S. #1. We'll see how long that stays. GG, Joe. Ruby. Yeah, we'll see how he does. And Lehechka versus Felix later. I think Amberg is going to be pretty big this year as well with the lead-in to the Olympics. Yeah. It could be. Hamburg's always a great event. It used to be in 1,000. So anyway, appreciate everybody joining in. I'll see you guys for more streams. This one was fun. And it was Rublev winning 6-4, 6-3. Not really the kind of 3-set, maybe even epic I was hoping for. I thought it would be much closer than that. I don't know if epic, but I thought it would be close. Fritz didn't show up the way he did the rest of the event, especially with the serve and with the backhand as well, to be honest. Rublev showed up. He's playing amazing, and he's going to be a big contender on the clay. Let's see if he can get that title here. It would be his second Masters title. And let's see if we could set him up for a good Roland Garros, where he's going to try to get to his first Grand Slam semifinal. He could get further than that, too. Rublev's a great player. He's back, and I'll see you guys at the next stream.